trade was simply business is business. Okay, DJ Moore, they looked good at times together. Kyle, we start with you because as it pertains to Chicago in particular, this trade is curious, fascinating, and does it put a chapter close to what we saw between Fields and the Bears?
Yeah, I mean, it's over. And I think it was complicated, and I think it was occasionally exhilarating, and it was extremely disappointing. What I'm frustrated about right now, and this has gone on all weekend, I hate that when it comes to Justin Fields and the Bears, you have to pick one way. You have to say either Fields was terrible or the Bears blew it. It's completely binary. I think it's overly reductive. I think it's overly simplistic. It's not how real people think. It's not how real people talk. I think it's reflective of politics. You have to go one way. It's nonsense, guys. The answer to the question is, did the Bears fail to support him, or did Justin Fields need to play better? The answer is yes, all right? And it's okay to think both ways. On the Bears side, what they did to and for Justin Fields as a rookie was ridiculous, probably even dangerous. Go back and watch him against the Browns. I can't believe he survived the game. It was terrible. Then in the second year, he's out there throwing to Pringles and Pettises and Equanimouses. I mean, he was not set up to win. It was bad. But on the other side, Justin Fields, you better believe there were so many plays to be made. This is a 10-28 quarterback. 10-28. So guys who are defending Fields, listen, I love Fields. If he had a different lineman out there or he had a different receiver, what is he, 13-25? Does that really make you feel better? There were so many times, especially in year two, when he had the ball at the end of the game and blew it. This Cleveland game this last year, ridiculous. So yes, Justin Fields, I like him. He blew it. The Bears, I like him. I like them. They blew it. And the grand finale of all of it was the last game of this year when they go to Lambeau Field. In the last game, Fields will ever play as a Bear with the chance to knock the Packers out of the playoffs, and they scored 9 points. So listen, there is fault on both sides, and that's okay. You don't have to be on a debate show or a political debate and say it's all this, it's all this. Stop doing that. Fields blew it, the Bears blew it, and if you're saying it's only one person's fault, you blew it.
Peter, your thoughts?
Kyle's right, and he's got a lot of emotion about it because it's one of these, it doesn't have to necessarily be X or Y. There could be a kind of middle ground on this thing. And to me, I look at, yes, the emotion of the Fields era ending and what was that, and it's kind of already forgotten. I'm picturing him sliding in week one after beating San Francisco and having fun, and there were so many great Fields moments, but also so many confusing losses. He mentions the Green Bay loss at the end there, where it's like, okay, we get all excited for like, this is the Justin Fields moment, and it just wasn't to be. The trade compensation to me is curious, and we went back and forth on this thing. I respect Ian's report that 4 teams called Chicago and that it was good for everybody to go to Pittsburgh. So remember when he said, I want to do what's right for Justin?
Yeah.
And that might have been true, but what did those 4 teams offer? Like, to me, Justin Fields, if he's traded maybe earlier in the offseason or if he's traded last year during the season, maybe there's more to be gained. It's stunning to me, A, how little it took to get Justin Fields, a 6th-round pick that's a conditional to a 4th, and then B, if that's the case, how none of these teams thought to go acquire Justin Fields on a 1-year, nothing contract, as opposed to signing some of these other guys. All due respect to Drew Lock, did the Giants not consider Justin Fields for a 3rd-round pick? All due respect to Jacoby Brissett, did the Patriots not think it was worthy of trading a 3rd-round pick for Justin Fields? Now, granted, Justin Fields wanted to go to Pittsburgh. Brian Poles isn't like, well, listen, I enjoy this 3rd-round pick offer, but to do Justin right, I'm going to get a 6th-rounder instead. It's only fair to Justin. I don't see that happening. So to me, I wonder, why did so many other teams sit on their hands? I mentioned Drew Lock. I mentioned, of course, Jacoby Brissett, but Gardner Minshew's a better option than Justin Fields? Maybe they are. Maybe I'm completely off on this thing, but for a 1-year deal, which is essentially what Pittsburgh's picking up, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm just kind of scratching my head and saying, maybe we all had this wrong and maybe the NFL was way down on Justin Fields as opposed to what we in the fans and media side thought. The market's the market. He went for a 6th-round pick that could be conditional to a 4th, and that's what it is. But there are a lot of NFL franchises, I thought, who, at least on a roll of the dice, on a waiver, like, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's go for Justin Fields. But maybe Fields and his agent were like, Pittsburgh is home. Can you please do what's right? And that's what they went with.
And to your point, it's hard to believe that someone was out there offering the Bears a great draft pick, and they were like, you know what? in Justin's case, forget about that. Forget about the value for the team.
That's not business is business.
It's not. And I don't think any team's really doing that. So to your point, it is kind of shocking to look around and say, wow, nobody wanted. But I look at like the Justin Fields draft class where we have Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, and these guys, and we said Mac went for a 6, and we said it at that time. Did that kind of set the table for Justin Fields? Mac goes to the playoffs in his rookie year, makes it to the Pro Bowl. Fields hadn't done those things, but when you watch Fields, though, he looks so electric, and it seems like so much untapped potential, but still he only goes for that. Zach Wilson can't be traded, which it seems like for the New York Jets, because what does he go for with these two guys having had success on the field? For the Bears, you look at it, they moved up in the draft. That wasn't Ryan Poles to go out and get Justin Fields. So he can kind of wash his hands up and say, you know what? We gave Justin Fields, we felt like the best chance since we got here, and we were in position to make those moves. It didn't work out, and it's time to move on.